Moving ahead, our next panel discussion will explore curriculum development and pedagogical innovations, including modernizing school curriculums, integrating life skills and vocational training, and best practices including in pedagogy. For this, I welcome our respected panelists on stage, Mr. Jimmy Pandita, mentor, chemistry teacher at Deeksha Center for Excellence, Pune, Dr. Sumit Narula, Professor and Director, Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Haryana, and Ms. Jyoti Luthra, President at Urjaa Global Principals Association. So, this discussion will examine how we can create more relevant and effective learning experience for the students. So, let's get this insightful session started. Over to you, honorable panelists.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I'll introduce the panelist, Dr. Sumit, Dr. Jyoti. And our today's topic is curriculum development and teaching pedagogy. And first of all, thanks the organizers for having such a wonderful panel discussions here. I've been here since morning and watching all the panel and listening to it very carefully, and it's very, I can say, knowledgeful, where we can get different insights. So, coming to the point, curriculum development. So, curriculum development is all about creating a plan for what studies will learn, what students will learn. It involves deciding what subjects to teach, what skills are important, and how to make learning engaging and effective. A well-designed curriculum helps students to gain knowledge and prepare them for the challenges of the real world. Whereas teaching pedagogy, on the other hand, refers to the methods and strategies teachers use to deliver that curriculum. Now, it's not just about what we teach, it's about how we teach it. Effective teaching considers the diverse needs of the students, encouraging them to think critically, work collaboratively, and apply their knowledge in a practical ways. So, in this discussion, we are going to explore today that how these elements are going to work together and how we can add the value to a student's life, to his future. So, my first question goes to Dr. Sumit regarding this curriculum development. That is, according to you, sir, what are the key components of an effective K-12 curriculum?
Right, thank you, the organizers, and thank you, everybody. I know it's lunch time, so you have to be with us for some more time. So, basically, I am a life skills trainer also. So, I do the life skills training for my students, for the school students, and for the university students, basically because I am in a university. So, for me in the curriculum, the first and the foremost thing is to have the life skills with them. And if they have the good life skills with them, they can live. Even if they are not intelligent, even if they are not engineer, even if they are not doctors, pilots, they can have a good and a happy and a healthy life, because that's very important. In that case, I start with them the first thing that we have to rewire their brains. So I give them an exercise that they have to compare a shopping cart with an aeroplane. So they will say there are no comparisons. But when we sit down together, we can have hundreds of comparisons together. So I'll give you 4 or 5 comparisons. A shopping cart and aeroplane. So you can also imagine, everybody will say no. It is very easy to get into the negativity of everything, but let's go for positive. So we will rewire. So 5 similarities between shopping cart and aeroplane. 1, both use metal. Both have wheels in them. Both are drivable. Both can be used for shopping. And both had some kind of mechanism to be used by a pilot. So shopping cart is also, you can have it with it, and then you have a pilot. So the point is that rewiring, when you keep on doing the rewiring, definitely there are positivities. So the first thing is to have positivity amongst ourselves and the students, so that they do not look at the negativity at all. So that is the first and the basic life skill that we do, and we say creative aerobics is a very, very unique exercise that we do with them. And this is the main part. And for me, life skill is the most important and significant part for the K-12.
Great, Sumit. And life skills, an important aspect in a student's life and in curriculum development also. And My next question goes to Dr. Jyoti. How do you ensure that the curriculum is inclusive and meets the needs of diverse learners?
Thank you for the question, sir. Sir is saying that how do we ensure that it is useful for the learners? Today, CBSE with NEP has ensured that whatever we teach them should be a lifelong learning, and that we need to implement in schools. We need to have experiential learning with the students. Now, what does experiential learning involves? It is that whatever we are teaching to our students, we should be able to give them the examples from the practical life. For example, I am a chemistry teacher, so I would give that example. If a teacher has to teach the student that temperature and pressure are inversely related, they are inversely proportional to each other. She can always give an example that, okay beta, when your mother is cooking and some guests come and she is in a hurry to open the pressure cooker, what your mother does? She puts the pressure cooker under the tap and the pressure goes down because the temperature is lowered. So these kind of examples can help the students to learn quickly, and they will have a lifelong learning. If a chemistry teacher has to teach the student that calcium carbonate is insoluble in water, calcium carbonate is what? She can tell that, do you know marble? Marble, it is made of, calcium carbonate is there in marble, marble is made up of calcium carbonate. Taj Mahal is made up of marble. So if calcium carbonate had been soluble, then Taj Mahal would have dissolved till now. So with these examples, she can tell that yes, calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. So the student would learn chemistry and he or she will not forget this for the lifetime. These kind of examples we can inculcate in our teaching. We can have these kind of learning, which is experiential learning, I would say hands-on learning. Experiential learning is just learning by doing, but it has various steps. It is not only that you have given something or you have taken the students to a practical lab so they would learn. No, it has steps when they would reflect upon it. Then you have to ask the questions. You have to make them curious about something. That is what actually learning is. If I say that I know everything and it is a monologue method in the class, it won't work. But suppose if I write a topic and I ask the students that, do you know something about this? What do you know about this? First of all, it would be an interactive learning. Secondly, the students, those who know about it, they would be more curious. And when their curiosity is arose, then creativity comes. With curiosity only you can make them creative. And when you make them creative, though why I would say that parents in older times, they were imposing their thoughts over the students. But now parenting is being taught to the parents. And parents, they are like, they don't know anything, but they want to learn from their children. And that is how the children, they become more confident, and they know that yes, if we are being heard and we are being respected and we are being valued for something what we know, then definitely it gives them engagement, it gives them a lifelong learning. That is my take on that.
Thank you. I'm myself a chemistry teacher, and you quoted it well. And basically, what I learned from this is that a teacher is always a learner. We always learn from students, and we need to give them that opportunity to express themselves, and similarly, we have to explain them the content. So it should be an interactive. Thanks for your insight, ma'am. My next question goes to Mr. Sumit. Could you tell me what would be the role of stakeholders in the curriculum development process? When we say
So,
stakeholders,
stakeholder
teachers, parents,
ha-
community.
Stakeholder has 100% role in the curriculum development. Like if they keep on looking at the syllabus from a critical point of view and from the understanding point of view, they can also give us the changes that they are looking for. As ma'am has said that NEP has changed the curriculum, and yes, NEP has changed the curriculum in a positive sense, and we are quite excited with the NEP, but results has to be there. So the results will be coming up in 27, 28 when a graduate will be out after 4 years of degree, and the school will be producing the students as per the NEP in 27, 28. So curriculum wise, stakeholders play a good role, parents also play a good role, and teachers and the principals, they all have to sit together and see what are the new things they are looking for. I have seen my kids, my son is in 8, so he has been given an opportunity to read, to understand coding in class 8th and an AI or MI, so he has to take an option of the or IT. It was not there during our times. So we used to go to the computer lab after removing our shoes, and then one will touch the computer, others will just sit. So
The computer
yeah.
on.
So and then there was an air conditioned room, so we were quite satisfied that chalo AC mil gaya. Or it makes sense. So now they are getting it from the age of, you can say, 12, 13, and they're being exposed to computer because of the graphic usage of the graphics, and also yes, the things are changing, and I'm quite happy with them that they are at least having a basic knowledge and they are able to operate the computer on their own. If you give them a laptop, they can switch it on, they can make a PowerPoint through Canva or whatever software, and they have a good knowledge. But nonetheless, it is a double-edged sword also, and if we always think that the only laptops and AI will save them, that's also not good, because they have stopped playing, they have stopped going to the markets with the family, they have stopped going to the grounds or in the societies, they don't have friends. They are becoming loner also. There are some cases that they are kind of loner. So curriculum is a significant role of the parents is there, and I think the school, most of the schools are doing it well. They are making good curriculum. But yes, there is a difference of the boards also, CBSE, ICSE and the state boards. They are not on the same page. Everybody had its own curriculum. But everybody plays a significant role, and the main role is of the teachers and the principal. Like you are the chemistry teachers, so if you give good examples and you are good related with the kids will follow you in chemistry, and they will have career. So if the teacher is not exciting, sometimes even if the subject is exciting, the students will not engage. So even the curriculum, even if it is good and the teachers are not doing it properly, the student will not get engaged, and he will first leave that subject, then he will do something else, although he was interested in that subject. So it is very, very important from the teacher point of view also, and from the stakeholder point of view also, that we should be on the same page, and vice versa.
Thank you. So what I can conclude on this is that technology is playing a very important role these days. And I'll just share one of my examples of last month. Um, I have my brother's son who is just 5 years old. तो हमारे टाइम पे हम बोलते थे यार स्टोरी सुना दो, कोई स्टोरी सुना दो. तो हमारे टाइम पे वो रैबिट एंड टॉर्टोइज की बड़ी सी एक फेमस सी स्टोरी थी. ही इज़ जस्ट 5 years old. तो मैंने कहा बेटा मैंने आपको लास्ट टाइम वो आपको स्टोरी सुनाई थी रैबिट एंड टॉर्टोइज की, तो आप प्लीज़ मेरे को बता सकते हो? बोला हाँ बिल्कुल बता सकता हूँ. तो मैंने कहा कैसे बताओ? तो बोले आपका फ़ोन दो. तो ही इमीडिएटली स्विच्ड ऑन माई फ़ोन और यूट्यूब स्टार्ट करके उसने रैबिट एंड टॉर्टोइज का स्टोरी बता दिया. एंड ही शोड देखो रैबिट एंड टॉर्टोइज की स्टोरी आपको सुननी थी, ये लो यूट्यूब पे है. मैंने कहा ये तो मैं भी देख सकता था. बोले इसको लर्न करने की ज़रूरत क्या है? इट्स ऑलरेडी ऑन द यूट्यूब, वाई आई हैव टू लर्न दिस? सो नाउ द टाइम हैज़ चेंज. व्हाट आई हैव पर्सनली रियलाइज्ड कि बिफोर कोविड एंड आफ्टर कोविड द टाइम हैज़ कम्प्लीटली चेंज्ड. एंड हमारे जैसे कुछ कन्वेंशनल टीचर्स होते हैं, बोलते हैं यार मोबाइल दूर रखो, ये मत करो, वो मत करो. बट इफ़ यू विल सी द पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस, that we are good at something and appreciate their uniqueness. They are good in technology. आप उतना ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं उसको सिखा सकते हैं जितना वो आपको सिखाएगा. You don't know कि how to use the phone. आपको सिर्फ कॉल करना आएगा, मैसेज करना आएगा, व्हाट्सएप करना आएगा. But he will go into the details of this. Just being a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid. But why this is happening कि जनरेशन गैप है, we are not ready to accept that change. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं पे मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि we need to understand that change also and we need to motivate the students. But yes, यहाँ पे हमें एक चीज़ का ये भी ध्यान रखना है कि वो इस टेक्नोलॉजी का गलत तरीके से इस्तेमाल ना करें. That is the only concern which we have. Otherwise, we should appreciate this, and they are good in learning technology. As you said, sometimes there are some cases who are in which the students are becoming loners now. उनको किसी की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, उनके हाथ में मोबाइल दे दीजिए, बस they are happy with that. So they don't need.
They are into FOMO,
Yeah.
which is we were using it for our undergraduate and
Yeah.
postgraduates, but it has reached to their level that they are in FOMO.
Yes, and in Australia they have passed a law right now that before 18, the kids cannot use mobile phone. I wish that multimedia phones, especially, they can use the phone, but not
But not the
multimedia phones.
smartphones,
Yeah,
yeah.
not the smartphones. I wish that Indian government can also look into this matter.
least
and
16 can
yeah,
be,
till
not
16 at
till
least.
16, yeah.
At least till 16 in India. It's very important. And coming back to our discussion, and next question goes to Dr. Jyoti. Could you please share your thoughts on how do you incorporate feedback from students and educators in curriculum revisions?
When we come to revision, then definitely, sir, I think it is not one time it should be done. This reminds me of one of my teachers because of who I am a chemistry teacher today. Because our chemistry teacher, whenever she used to enter the class, then her first step always used to be that she used to revise what we have done in the last class. And there she used to start it. Because that gives the students a connectivity that what we were doing. So the revision is a daily basis process. It is not done one time that okay, but still once we have finished the curriculum, once we are over with the topics which are to be covered for one semester, so as to say, then on revising, definitely the teacher plays a very big role. It is not always that rote learning should be there. The chapters which are to be revised, she could use role playing at times, that okay, whatever topic it is, if it is Hindi, then obviously in languages, the dramas are there, the poems are there, so role playing is definitely easy. It is more easier. But even if the sciences and other subjects are there, then the students can role play and can do it, revise it more easily. Recently, I was in an observation in a school, and I observed a physics teacher. She called on 5 students and she told them that okay, one is a bulb, the other one is a switch, then the 2 are wires, and one is voltmeter. So you make a circuit, and when the bulb is on, the bulb would show like this, that the bulb is on. And when the switch, she told that okay, the battery, the one who has been made the battery, she told okay, battery, you put on 3 claps. 3 claps means this is the energy of the battery. So this energy would be transferred to wires. Then the one who was projected as wire, he was personified as a wire, again he would put on 3 claps. And then these 3 claps will go to the bulb, and bulb will switch on. So this is how teachers can, create they can use their creativity to make learning more easier, more simpler, so that the students, they should not feel that it's a burden on them or they are learning some concept. That should be like fun. So that is how it would be, again, a lifelong learning, and they would learn it faster and remember forever.
In that revision plays a significant role also. So if if we're not revising our syllabus, we are going down the line, and it is the responsibility of the teacher also sometime to tell the principal that new things have come, or to the stakeholder that new things are coming up in this subject, so we need to revise. Even if it is once a year or twice a year, we do in universities as a board of studies. So, but in school, the pattern is different. But that is the main part of our lives, to revise. In our life also we revise. So the same thing is that in education, in chemistry, I think new things have come up. And even the Nobel Prize people, we have to teach them that this something is a breakthrough, because in chemistry every year there is a Nobel Prize. So we have to, like in life skills, we compare them with the peace studies and all. So that is the point, that where the new things will come up, the new points will come up in their mind, that this revision has to be done. If not at the school level, but at the teachers level, that the teachers should tell them that this might not be in your syllabus, but this is for your life in subject like this.
Very
Yeah.
true. So feedback is very important for the revisions. So once we get the feedback, then we have to start the revision process as and when it is required.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
you might not get the
Your
feedback.
feedback
It's
also.
on the teacher
Yeah.
to get it on their own, that if
Yes.
they're reaching home and they see something new,
True.
so they can start their class from something new which is not in the syllabus,
Yes.
but related to
Yes.
this subject.
Correct.
So these things are coming up.
Yeah, so
Okay.
otherwise also, we say that we know many things, but sometimes if we are listening to it, so this is like revising only. So when we come across one thing again and again, then we are telling our subconscious brain that what actually we are doing. So revising is actually a very important part.
Very
and a
important,
feedback.
yes. So I'll just share my experience with this. And I was just coming out of the class, and what I observed from last 1 year, कि बच्चे क्लास से निकलते हैं बाहर and immediately they have mobile phone in their hands. And retention of information, जिसको हम revision बोलते हैं या retention of information बोलते हैं, it is a challenge right now. Because कोविड से पहले जब बच्चे क्लास से बाहर निकलते थे, दे यूज टू डिस्कस कि आज क्लास में कौन सा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किया है, विच क्वेश्चंस वी हैव सॉल्व. नाउ दैट ट्रेंड हैज completely changed. So
We are doing in my teaching methodology, I ask them to put the cell phones out of the class.
correct.
And in schools, in their school,
Yeah.
I think these phones are not allowed.
Yeah.
So
Once the school is over, they will simply grab once they reach
they
home.
enter the school.
Yeah, once they reach home and they, not about the school, and once they reach home, they immediately grab the phone and they will stop. Otherwise, the trend was different. We reach home, we have food, we sleep, or we take rest, and then we start revising. So the complete, this has changed after COVID, and I believe that revision process should be involved in a curriculum, the changing curriculum, and it plays a very important role. My next question goes to Mr. Sumit. What innovative teaching methods have you found most effective in K-12 education?
innovative, we need to give them the practicals. They have to solve the problems. Like the practical we just had, the practicals to bring negativity and bring out the negativity and go for positive is the creative aerobics that we do with them in the life skills, that they have to compare to things which are beyond comparison, and then there are good comparisons. And the second is that we give them the project based, like they have to solve a problem, like the problem of pollution is there, which will come back to haunt us in November to February. So that is the main that we give them in our university or in our school. And then the problems related to the financial literacy, that some people go bankrupt, and how do you manage your finances, because we need to tell them in advance from class 8 towards that now you are getting financially independent, like we're giving you money now, pocket money and all. How do you manage your money? How do you manage your funds? And how do you manage yourself in the crisis? I practically tell them that, because this is happening, cyberbullying, so they don't have to worry about cyberbullying. If something happens to them, they should tell the parents, and parents will manage. Whosoever say whatever, that they got your pictures, they have seen you somewhere, whatever is there, you tell your parents, because we are the best one to help them, and the teachers also. If somebody says that I have seen you in the washroom, okay, tell my parents. So because he's in the washroom, normal. So but if it is being stressed out to him that we are his friends, her friends, and then these are the practical implications that we have to tell them in advance, that there is nothing like bullying. You yourself can hurt you for that. So please do not do that, and go for the practical. If there is a message to you from an unknown number, tell your parents. If there is a video even from an unknown number to you, please tell your parents, because that's very, very important. So we have to give them these kind of practical implications to live the life. And for me as a life skills trainer, that is the most important part, that I should train them to live a healthy life. And even if they are not studious, even if they are not engineer, doctors and pilots, they can have a healthy life if they are mentally and emotionally strong and understand. And the important point is the situational awareness, that where are they standing from here, how will they reach Gurgaon, their home. So if they are in 10th class and they are in Janpath and they lost phone, so how would they reach home? They don't, because they do not remember any number now. They've forgotten all the numbers. So that's a practical, that they have to reach home. How will they do that? because even I don't think I have 4 or 5 numbers remembering. So that is the main concern, that I will be going for all along the practicals.
Great. Great. So, next question is to Dr. Jyoti. How can technology be integrated in the curriculum to enhance learning outcomes?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this question, which is of modern times. Technology is playing a big role these days. We know that students, they are totally dependent on technology. Earlier, when we were young, we used to remember phone numbers, but after the mobile phones, we don't remember any numbers. So it is less of brain exercise for that now. Now, if we talk of earlier, there were content writers, but now being Grok.ai, ChatGPT, we don't need them also. If we tell ChatGPT, okay, humanize that, ChatGPT does that,
Yes.
yes. Huh? So the thing is that technology definitely plays an important role for many other things, because what technology can't do is that what do you prompt? There is a specific and a separate vertical of prompt engineering. If I want to ask something from ChatGPT, what I would prompt, ChatGPT will give that. And if suppose anybody else asks that, then for the same information, if it is asked in a different way, the result would be different. So what we ask the technology, that is there, and that is how we get. In case of curriculum, when we say that integrating this, obviously when we are integrating it with robotics, when we are integrating it with AI, then definitely we get to have lot many things which are useful for today's time, as sir mentioned about coding, as he said that obviously that is something which we used to think that coding is something which a student would have been learning after completing the graduation and something, but now it is in class 5, class 6, we have those courses and students are learning coding, so they know how to make new apps, and that is the result that we are getting millionaires like people, founder of Oyo. He is just 22 years and he is a millionaire because we are introducing technology, we are giving them exposure at a very early stage and they can learn it. Obviously, the brain grasps it. We know that when a child comes to a play school, then 80% of the brain development has been completed. It has been done. So what we have to do is just train that brain. That is the teacher's job, which is left after that. So we need to train it rightly, we need to train it properly so that their energies are channelized in right direction. And that we can do by training them and inculcating technology.
Right. So in technology, if we are asking, how many from the audience remember 10 mobile numbers? If I ask you to write 10 mobile numbers, how many you remember? I remember 4, 5. So we are millennials, so, so who are, so I don't think so we remember 10 mobile numbers. So it is obviously, and if I tell you to let's reach Gurgaon without looking at maps, we will be circling in Connaught Place only. Once I'm outside Connaught Place, I can go. But to get out of Connaught Place is not an easy task on your own. So these are things that technology has given us, that we are enjoying it, but if the maps are not there, if the internet is not working, we are out of place and we do not know what to do, where to go. And yes, YouTube has also helped us in all the lectures, but if YouTube's not there, then
Yeah.
What next?
what
So
next?
I would just add to this, when sir said that if maps would not have been there, you know, we have been evolving with these only. So when Google Maps, it was introduced, we were young, maybe it is 10 to 12 years ago, I think. So we used to mock about that, कि पान वाले की तो importance ही खत्म कर दी, नहीं तो हम पान वाले से पूछते थे रास्ता का. But now we are so used to it and we are so engrossed and engaged into these type of technologies that we certainly feel, you know, incomplete without these things.
Very true. नहीं निकल सकता. True, very true. बस उससे यहाँ गुड़गांव कैसे आना है? That's very difficult. Yeah, I remember.
One more thing is there that it is like that also you need to learn, because whenever we keep a driver, we ask him that do you know that how to use Google Map?
Google Map, yeah.
So this is also a skill now. That even a driver who does not know that how to use a Google Map, and he does not know that if the road is being shown and there is a flyover, so what the Google Map is showing.
Flyover on the road, yeah.
Flyover or off that. So that is also
So
a skill.
even if it's illiterate, that cab driver is not a graduate even, so he is using it carefully, and whenever we sit in the cab, first he opens the map, okay, T3,
destination डाल दीजिए इसमें.
yeah, destination डाल दीजिए, या उसको automatic मिलता है on blue cab and all, but even some use in Hindi, आगे जाके left हो जाए या वो दाएं मोड़, some use in Hindi, some use in their own language. When we were in Bangalore, so they were using their own language, so it is there. So obviously if they don't have this IT skill with them, which has been given to them, it would be difficult for them to run a cab also.
I remember.
And we feel safe when we see that he's on map. If he was going on his own, we will be afraid that where is he going. So
Safety is also there.
So if it's on map, we are happy.
I remember I started my career in Delhi. I was staying in Arjun Nagar, Safdarjung Enclave, and one of my friend stays in Rohini. So I'm talking about 2001. तब तो Google Maps वगैरह थे ही नहीं, कुछ नहीं था, मोबाइल भी नहीं था उस टाइम पे, कुछ भी नहीं था. 2001 I'm talking about. तो मैंने उसको फ़ोन किया कि भाई मेरे को तेरे घर पे आना है, just let me know how to come, how to reach there. So उस टाइम पे हम लोग कैसे यूज़ करते थे, दिल्ली का मैं सिचुएशन बताता हूँ आपको, कि तेरे घर से निकलेगा एक आधा किलोमीटर सीधे चलेगा तो पहला फ्लाईओवर आएगा, पहले फ्लाईओवर के छोड़ के दूसरा फ्लाईओवर आएगा, दूसरे फ्लाईओवर से नीचे से जाना, वहाँ से राइट टर्न लेना. दिस इज हाउ वी यूज टू. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. सो टेक्नोलॉजी हैज़ प्लेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन आवर डे टू डे लाइफ, बट being into education, we need to be very careful when we are integrating the technology in our curriculum. So students should know how to use this technology. This can be, as you rightly said, that they should be transparent enough.
Yeah,
they should be transparent enough कि this is what we have to inculcate in the curriculum, कि भाई आपको इस technology को use कैसे करना है. Not to कि technology तो उनको पता है. We cannot teach them कि भाई technology क्या है. They can tell us कि ये Python programming है, ये Java है. They will tell us everything. But what, as an educator, as a parent, as a teacher, what is our role to explain them how to use this, rather than what to use. They know what to use, but how to use it, that's very important. Now, moving to next question. Mr. Sumit, can you tell us any of the challenge which you have faced when implementing the teaching methodology innovations?
Yeah, definitely. Everything which is new will not be accepted. The students will not accept it. And we are into open book exams, so I give a lot of open book exam to the students, and they really enjoy it, but they want more time. So we give them they have to submit in 3 hours or 4 hours, because they have to look for the books, they have to go to the library, or you can extend it to 5 hours. Yes, they want, and they do not want handwritten. They want computerized. So we give them that they have to put the assignments in handwriting. Although they are softwares, which gives you very good handwriting, but we know the handwriting of the student, so we know that he is doing it through the computer, so we reject that. So the first point is that they are not accepting. If they accept, they want it in computer form. But we say that they have to in their handwriting. The second is that, yes, they enjoy open book, but they say, sir, isi book mein se dal do, jisme se padhaya. But open book means you have to give the answers through reference books also. But they do not want to go to the reference books. And the third point is that when they look for this, they say that the final exams are not like that. In final exams, they will not be provided any material to get out of it. They just give an exam and they have to answer through their learning. And yes, there is rote learning also. Some are cramming, and once the question is different, they will not be able to answer as they want to. So difficulties are there, but everybody through the NEP and through the new things are coming up to the open learning exam. And then we were just discussing while we were coming to this institution discussion that now CBSE is thinking of 2 times the board's exam. So a child have 2 attempts now, and best of 2 will be there. So it is a good opportunity. So if he is well prepared in December or in January, let him go for that. And if it is well prepared in March, April, so at least he will not be under stress, and parents will also be not under stress that he should not be ill that day. Because once he is ill on the same day of the exam, his entire year is gone for a toss. So he should be getting a chance, or he should get a special chance in June before the new admissions, because it is very, very difficult for the parents also to see that their son and daughter is not well due to some injury or maybe stress or something like that. So two chances are there. So new, you said that the new implications are there, but yes, sometimes they're difficult to maintain, but we are there to manage.
So there are challenges. There are challenges when we are introducing, as you rightly said, that when there is any change, whether it is a student or me or you, we don't accept it so easily. So there are definitely challenges.
Even sometimes school authorities also do not recognize that this is important. Life skill is the most neglected one.
Yes,
The
very true.
subject which I train is the most neglected one, but now UGC is also giving it for the colleges
Yes.
as a Jeevan Kaushal in Hindi.
Jeevan Kaushal in
Because
yes.
it is very, very important to have students Jeevan Kaushal, like
Yes.
at least they know how to change the tire.
Yeah.
पंचर कैसे लगाना है,
हाँ हाँ
घर पे
basic.
दो चार लाइट अगर बंद हो जाए तो उसको ऑफ कैसे ऑन करना है.
True.
कई ऐसी जगहों पे आप होते हैं तो घबराना नहीं है.
True.
Something that how to call the police, how to call the fire brigade, and how to do the risk management, like थोड़ा सा भी कहीं मिस हैपनिंग है तो how to manage that. They are reaching up to the level of giving CPR. अब वो CPR भी सिखा रहे हैं आगे स्टूडेंट्स को because of the issues कि एकदम से भी आपके हार्ट की इश्यूज आ रहे हैं, तो if the students people are trained or the students are trained, they can save. So this is very, very important. जीवन कौशल के अंदर इन्होंने 25 से 30 सब्जेक्ट्स ट्रेनिंग के शुरू करें. UGC itself has jumped into it.
And this is very important. This is very,
वो तो बस
very
एक बारी
important.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर अनाउंस कर दें,
हाँ.
सारा देश फिर
हाँ बस
पे
बस
हमारा रेडी हो जाए.
So, Dr. Jyoti, how do you measure the effectiveness of new teaching strategies or curriculum changes?
Sir, NEP has been introduced now, though it would be introduced in phases definitely. But you know, the new teaching strategies which have come up, they are actually working for it. Though we used to take students out for something, definitely for historical monuments we used to take them, but now according to NEP, it is mandatory. That it is mandatory that if you are teaching a subject and you have to give a practical hand experience to the students, so take them, and that is considered. Then for the teachers as well, like 50 hours upskilling is mandatory by CBSE, that if a teacher is working in a school, then in 1 year she has to undergo 50 hours training for upskilling herself. So this is like, it is not easy. Earlier the teachers also, they used to be in this profession not by passion, not by choice, but by chance. Even if they are there by chance, you know, it is said that either you do what you love or you love what you are doing. So even if you are there by chance, then also if you are upskilling yourself, then definitely you are through it. And if it is mandatory, since it has been a mandate by CBSE, so teachers are upskilling themselves. So these new strategies which are coming up through NEP, through CBSE, they are actually enhancing the teaching learning process, and the teaching learning process is not that what it was 20 to 25 years ago. The students are also learning, vocational courses are there, skill development is there. So students are learning the courses like carpenter and mechanical courses, and they are learning coding also. So on one hand, they have certain courses, the CBSE has introduced certain courses which are relevant for tier 1 city schools, and there are courses on other hand which are effective for tier 2, tier 3 cities. Because you know, CBSE is a 100-year-old organization, more than that definitely, and they have to bring everyone on one platform. If you say that in chemistry or in physics, in class 11th and 12th, there are books which have 2 volumes and they are this much thick books. But if we talk of NCERT, then NCERT has one thin book. Why? This is because they are thinking of those schools which are there in interiors and in villages. so that those students can afford those books and can go through these books. That is why when we are teaching the students in our schools, we are telling them that NCERT is your Bible, Gita and Quran. No question in board exam will come beyond that. This is because of this, they want to bring everyone on a single platform, and that is how they have done in new strategies also. They have introduced vocational courses which are there for tier 1 cities also, for tier 2 cities also. Coding is also there, machine learning is also there. On the other hand, electrician course is also there, then knowing carpentry is also there. Everything is there. Whatever the student has the interest in can go for it, can make their life more easier and can earn through it and can be happy. So this
Yeah.
is
Skill development is very important.
Yeah.
Skill development is very, very important.
Skills are the need of the hour because now there are skills universities also. NIF is also giving skill university rankings also. And then after skills, we have SDG goals. So there are so many things which are coming up. So 17 SDG goals. So those who are working in the area of 17 or 1 or 2 SDG goals, they are given prominent jobs in UNESCO, UNICEF and the related SDG area. So if a student is going for a child MUN and they are learning a lot of new things from there for the SDG, So future is bright. The only thing is that they need to be on the right track with the right school, with the right teachers and the right approach.
Yeah. So can you tell us something about the importance of professional development for educators in relation to the pedagogical
Yeah.
innovations?
So educators need to be also professionally developed. So even at this age, we need to develop ourselves. That how do we keep ourselves? And I was looking at a video where a DM in a village was saying to a teacher that you don't have to come to the school from tomorrow because the teacher was wearing a kurta pajama and eating pan masala and he was in the school. So he said, do not come to the school from tomorrow. These kind of teachers are not required because there will be no learning for the student and the students will follow. If one student followed that teacher, that student is gone. Because that teacher might have got his job on merit, but at the moment it's not meritorious. So that is why even we have cleared the NET examination, it should not be a lifetime examination. I have cleared NET in journalism and in peace studies because it's related to life skill. I wanted it to be after every 10 years. So usually we clear the exams. In teaching we have CET and other related exams. So it should not be an annual exam or one-time exam. You clear it and after 10 years again, it should have validity. After 5-10 years there should be a revision to it. So you have cleared it, but you are getting higher marks or low marks because it will give you the confidence that you need to study. And you need to have, we also can check the knowledge of that particular teacher. If a teacher is not performing well and his marks are not coming up as per the exam, it can be an objective kind of exam. You don't have to write answers, objective. Something should be there to check the efficacy and efficiency of a teacher, even if it is a university or a school teacher, like we do in the corporates. In India, what is happening, that teaching, which was the first profession, has become the last profession.
True, very true.
Those who have failed in all the areas in their
They will
life,
come
कहते हैं चलो teaching करते हैं.
Teaching कर लेते हैं.
And we are seeing that in the university culture because many are there, and we are seeing this in the school also. भी चलो husband का बहुत अच्छा पैकेज है, wife पढ़ी लिखी कहती है चलो स्कूल ही लग जाते हैं, आना जाना रहेगा और सास के साथ कौन रहना चाहता है. So जब ये वाली प्रॉब्लम हम फेस करते हैं तो टीचर्स के साथ, तो उनका फिर हमें लगता है कि एक बार दोबारा चेकिंग लेवल होना चाहिए. 2-4-5 साल बाद कुछ ना कुछ प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट, लाइक यूजीसी इज डूइंग HRTC सेंटर्स, MMTC सेंटर्स, काफ़ी कुछ है, लेकिन उसका भी एक एग्ज़ाम छोटा सा करते हैं. बट अ नेशनल लेवल एग्जाम 5 साल बाद होना चाहिए इन कंटिन्यूटी टिल द टाइम ही वांट्स टू बी टीचर. इफ इट डजंट वांट टू बी अ टीचर और अ प्रोफेसर और देन इट्स फाइन, बिकॉज वी आर द फोर्थ पिलर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, द एजुकेशन, एंड एजुकेशन इज द मोस्ट निग्लेक्टेड सेक्टर एट द मोमेंट. बड़ी बड़ी सुरंगें, पुल सब बन गया हमारा, बट
Very true, very true, very true. And last month I was at a platform where the discussion was about education and literacy. Right, so people said कि यार ये तो literate है, हमारे इंडिया की तो literacy बहुत ज़्यादा है. Now we are reaching to 90%, 95% literacy rate हमारा है. But there's a difference between education and literacy. There's a difference.
उसमें भी डेटा में ये है कि चाइना हमसे कम है अगर पॉपुलेशन में, वहाँ सारे 10th पास हैं,
हाँ.
हमारा 5th है.
हाँ.
तो लिटरेसी रेट GER हमारा ग्रॉस एनरोलमेंट रेशो जितना मर्जी ये बढ़ाते रहे,
हाँ.
लेकिन डेटा इज 5th पास सारे हो जाएंगे,
हाँ.
लेकिन है तो अनपढ़ ही, क्योंकि 10th तक तो हमें पहुंचना ही चाहिए ना, 5th पास को सारा देश कर देंगे तो
लिटरेसी रेट हम तो बढ़ा दी है, लेकिन are we actually educated? That's the big question. So when it was asked to me कि भाई education और literacy में फ़र्क क्या है, same तो है. There's a lot of difference between literacy and education. So when we say disciplined, literacy तो आप तोते को आप एक महीना ABCD पढ़ा दीजिए तो वो भी ABCD रटना शुरू कर देगा. बोल देगा वो. लेकिन when we say teachers development and teachers का training, that's very important because we have to provide disciplined education. So when we say disciplined learning, that becomes an education, that becomes an educated person. As you rightly said, that teachers should be checked and teachers should be developed, and that should be a continuous process.
Yeah,
it should be a continuous process.
If we are judging the students,
Yeah.
teachers should also be judged. As
Yes.
simple as that. Because
Yes.
why are they sitting idle and their degrees are like, I did my PhD in 2011, 14 years ago. Although I am much abreast of the things which are coming up in the education sector and we know all the things, but what about others? They should also be checked. Even their PhD should also be seen that now it's been 14 years, something new should be done, and they should do something new, some new degree or some new courses or some new development in their area, because they do it for once and it's for life. It's not at that moment. Earlier it was good. My mother did my PhD in 1981. At that time typewriter were there, so that's fine because times were difficult. But now things are very easy. We don't do PhD, we can do postdoc, if not postdoc, something, or even NET exam I cleared in 2008. It's 17, 18 years ago. And that is still valid because it is in validity for life. But I don't like that. There should be something after 10 years, just for and exam based. When there is not proctored exam, nothing will come out of it. Because you will attend the center's HRDC program, there will be no exam, you will have a certificate, that's it. No, there should have been a proctored exam. And that proctored exam will show your grades, that then we can match. जब teacher ही intelligent नहीं होगा तो बच्चे भी कहाँ से intelligent होंगे?
Continuous learning for teachers as well as the students. That's how we can develop an effective curriculum. I will say effective curriculum. And now moving on to the next question. What current trends in curriculum development do you find most promising?
As sir said, that teachers should have some exam which should check their eligibility and all. So I would say that in that, as I said, that CBSE has made it mandatory for teachers to upskill themselves. So that is in that series only that they are doing that capacity building program and all.
I'm okay, UGC is also doing. इनका पर exam होना चाहिए, upskilling का, नंबरों का exam होना चाहिए.
Right. So as you said that the question is that what
Current trends in curriculum development do you find is most promising?
most promising, right. See sir, in curriculum development now, we are having a blueprint of curriculum development, as I am a committee member for NCRT also for making the books. So when we do that, in that we follow Bloom's taxonomy, that it should not be only understanding, but it should be application based, and HOTS questions are there, that is higher order thinking skill questions should be there, which should be involved, so that the students, they should have that brainstorming, they should think about a situation. Suppose if I have to ask a questions about a biogas plant. So what questions we were making after the chapter earlier, they were like, what are the uses of a biogas plant? How this biogas plant work? What are the benefits of having a biogas plant in a village or something like that? But nowadays it is a higher order thinking skill questions. The question would be framed by the teacher. It would be something like that, that suppose Ram is having these many cows and buffaloes in his farm. So what should he do so that he can have some resource of, so the child would think about it, the student would think about it, that yes, we can have a biogas plant. This is what the answer is expected. But these kind of questions, they are open-ended. Because there is no end to creativity, there is no end to thinking. A child may think of anything else as well. So this gives an exposure, and this gives a platform in curriculum development that we are implementing such things where the ideas of the learners also are included in that.
So what you mean to say is parallel thinking. Parallel thinking, critical and parallel thinking are two important aspects of the current curriculum trend which is going on, and as per the new education policy also, it is more based on creative thinking and parallel thinking. Right, and students don't know what is this parallel thinking and what is this. They are still used to that conventional methodology. कि हाँ भाई 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, root 2 plus root 2 is equal to 2 root 2. That's it. So these are the things which definitely should be inculcated in the curriculum. The parallel thinking should be introduced, and
We can have one or two questions. From
yeah,
the audience
can we
because
have? Yeah.
They are about to.
So can we have? Yeah.
Very good afternoon, all the panelists here. After the whole entire session, being an audience, we have gone through the challenges which we are going to face. As since you people are talking about the modernizing school curriculums, integrating lives, upgrading the youth and all. So, this question is going to be like out of my curiosity. Like youth is after this modernizing everything, chat GPT and all. So, and chat GPT and this modernizing, upgrading, they are going to, form AI skilled robots. As we have gone through in reels also, a robot is, wearing a sari. So I just want you to put a light on that, like in upcoming years. If an AI robot is going to substitute in place of physical teachers, so what will happen? Where the teachers' job where they are going? So I would like to know what is going to be the future aspect, from this modernizing and skilled things.
Thank you for the question, Simran. The question is very valid. I would like to answer this, and later you can add to it whatever you want. See, artificial intelligence, ultimately it is artificial. So you cannot compare AI and HI, human intelligence. Human intelligence has made that artificial intelligence. Recently, I was in a university. I went to Mumbai. There is a university, and the name of the university is AI University. And they are training students for this AI. And I had a discussion with their AI specialist. And what he told me is that, ma'am, soon, as I told them that, mobile is an integral part of our personality now. If we forget our mobile, we are nothing without that. So what he told me that, ma'am, soon we are going to have Neuralink chips. There would be a chip which would be attached to your brain, and suppose if I meet Jimmy sir and that Neuralink chip is there with sir also and with me also, I don't need to ask about sir, that who he is, what his history is about, and from where he is. It would be automatically transferred to me, and I would be saying, okay, hello sir, so this is what I know about you and all. So definitely technology is replacing the things, but we are getting more time now. There was a age when we were doing manual works. Then it came machine age. When machine age came, then washing machines are there. Earlier, our mothers used to wash their clothes with hands and everything. Then came washing machine. So we could not have think of कि जब washing machine आएगी तो तब क्या हो जाएगा, फिर तो कोई काम नहीं होगा. ऐसा नहीं है. It's not there. So similarly, when AI would be there, ChatGPT is there, or the advancement is there, no one can replace the human beings there. Teachers have to be there.
I'll add on to this. As far as the artificial intelligence is concerned, as Madam rightly said, that it is artificial. It's not the real one. It's artificial. So artificial intelligence basically works on data. So it's a basically game of data. Now,
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but they are working on the emotional
I'll-
and physical, psychological
Yes,
aspect. They are
yes.
going to like set a few things where like a robot is going to understand how child is, what child is feeling in the classroom, why he is crying. So they are doing,
they're working on
all
it.
the research.
Yes,
Working on
there is a process which is going on this particular process. I agree with you, but it's a game of data. So the machine cannot predict anything unless and until it does not have a data. Now, when I am into a class, a physical teacher is in a class, I don't need the data of students. I can just talk to a student and I can understand with my experience what he is lacking and what he is good at. So, but if you will not provide the data to the robot or the artificial intelligence, it won't work. So we are finally humans. Yes, to some extent, it is a threat. It is a threat to our generation, to the next generation also, but in a different way. It's not that this will take away the jobs and these will take away everything. So it has a different kind of a threat to human race, but not concerned to the jobs and but not concerned to the teaching methodology.
Teachers are safe. बच्चे हैं।
Teachers are safe. Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so
yes.
much. Thank you.
Teaching community was the only community who was working during COVID. They found out methods online.
नहीं,
So
उधर
you
भी
know
एक question है,
it is just data. As sir rightly said,
इधर
I
जाएंगे।
could quote an example that in a school there was a girl. She was very problematic, and she was problematic to a guy. That guy was बहुत परेशान था वो बच्चा मेरे पास आया मैम मैं इससे परेशान हूँ बहुत ये ना मुझे बहुत तंग करती है like pulling or something like that. You know what he did in front of me only, and he was having mobile phone. It was after school when we were discussing. So I smiled. I said बच्चे हैं तो मैम मैं क्या करूँ. मैंने ऐसे ही उसको मजाक में बोला. मैंने कहा चैट जीपीटी से पूछ लो सब कुछ तो तुम चैट जीपीटी से करते हो. उसने मेरे सामने चैट जीपीटी से ही opened it and he asked कि what should I do? I'm very this girl ये leg pulling करती है. And उसने हिंदी में पूछा सुनैना का क्या करें ये बहुत परेशान करती है. You know what chat GPT said in Hindi only? उसको जाके समझाएं ऐसा ना करें. तो समझाएगा कौन? समझाएंगे तो humans ही हैं. Because they don't know the history.
हम उसमें गलत चीजें डाल देंगे एआई में तो खराब हो जाएगी।
It's all completely
Teacher safe है।
data oriented.
हम गलत डेटा देंगे ना उससे वो गलत कमांड आ जाएगी।
हाँ,
But
if
you
you
know-
remember last year January में Twitter पे I just tweeted one statement which was very viral. शायद आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा that I asked the question to ChatGPT that Nikhil has 3 kids. First, Nikhil has 2 brothers, right? 2 brothers. One is Soham and second is Vineet. So, how many children that Vineet's father had? So they said the ChatGPT answered that it is irrelevant data. Data insufficient. So yeah.
दिमाग इतना नहीं चलाएगा। Okay,
Right.
next question फटाफट
Next.
खत्म करते हैं।
Namaste. It was amazing to hear all the perspectives of the panelists. My question is in 2 parts. I work in training field of education. So in a rush to integrate new technology and new trends in the education, wherever we go, we generally feel like there is a huge gap between strengthening the fundamental concepts and integrating the new technologies of understanding and application both. So my first question is innovation only about technology? And second thing is, what are your thoughts about bridging this gap?
Bridging this gap. Okay. So my opinion is that as you rightly said that technology is not the only thing which we can add into the innovation. There are many things we can inculcate in our curriculum apart from the technology, like as madam has said recently that we can inculcate the life examples. As she was a chemistry teacher, we can ask them, the students, that what is, why if calcium carbonate is a solid, liquid or gas. These kind of examples we can do. We can bring some innovation in our teaching methodology also. And your second question, how to bridge that gap, that is very important. Now that, in order to bridge that gap, my suggestion is that rather than focusing on technology or the curriculum, we should focus that how a student should fall in love with the subject. Once a student falls in love with that subject, then the innovations will automatically come, then the technology, everything can be inculcated in the curriculum. This is what I can suggest.
Thank you so much. Why I asked that question is nowadays, wherever we go for the training, the schools are all, held up on, I need to establish a robotics lab or a AI lab and everything. And somewhere they are forgetting simple labs as science lab, math lab, right? So bridging that gap and talking in a teacher training becomes something very important topic.
They sometimes do it for higher fees also, that there should be good
Definitely,
labs.
definitely.
Because they need good higher fees. We see a lot of cases where the fees is very high, so in those schools the labs are quite sufficient. But yes, the basics are being forgotten, that how to go to the playground and how to play basketball and how to go into sports. Yeah, sports we are lacking. Only cricket is a game which is being mesmerized by everybody, but there are many games which are not there, but we have good players. So that is another part of the discussion, that where the schools are going and why only the IPL is being liked by everybody, why not other games? There are badminton, other games, kabaddi and all. So when I was studying the journalism course, so it was called Electronic Colonialism Theory, where Vishwanathan Anand became the world chess champion, was given a single column, and Master Blaster did a century, it was given 4 columns. Did a century only, not a World Cup and all. Only a century was given 4 column and all in an English newspaper, and Vishwanathan only a single column on the left hand side. That was called electronic colonialism, that we are under colonialism, still under the colonialism, that cricket is the game because the Britishers given us that game. So yes, it is there. So we are not bridging that gap at the moment. We are ahead of that. A lot of water has also gone under the bridge, as I see the labs all over the universities also, but sometimes there are no teachers to train. And the teachers even doesn't have that basic. That is why I say that there should be a basic qualification check of the faculties after every 5 years. That. Yeah. Yes, ma'am?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. I really enjoyed the session that was conducted over here, right from the shopping cart to the discipline and to the neuro chip which ma'am had mentioned. One thing that I feel is missing from the entire curriculum is the communication skills and the conversation skills, both for students and for teachers. So yesterday there was a session which I attended in the other hall, and they were talking about social labs. I think their connect between the pre-nursery to the university level, what is happening there, and starting from here, that will be more effective. And if you have any idea or anything that you can share with us for introducing these social labs for our tiny tots too.
Introducing the social labs.
Social labs, yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
I
yes.
will go with the same exercise of life skills, creative aerobics, where we will be trying to give them more exercises related to that, because they need to be socially connected with the people also. And yes, communication plays a significant role, and if a teacher, even if it is well prepared and communication wise is not strong, he will not be able to manage the students because of the lack of attention with them. The span of attention is very, very less, and if it is not effective teaching in the first 10 minutes, the next 40 minutes are useless. So it is very, very important. And yes, we start with an activity, and this is the kind of activity that I start in my sessions on the life skills. And yes, then the feedback analysis is also important, that pre and post, give them the questions, what they have learned and what they don't know before the session, and then the related aspects are there, which you say that they are missing one. We need to work on those missing aspects also, and then we need to sit down and see that what kind of crowd we are in. It is 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th or younger than that. The rest, sir, also a trainer. So,
Ma'am, are you talking of social labs for teachers or students?
teachers.
Ma'am, both.
Both.
Acha,
Both.
for both, okay.
Right? I mean, for K-12 throughout.
When we are talking of social labs for students, I would say that school itself is a social lab for them. they learn from peers. When they are in the class, they learn from each other. So that is a society, that is a community where they are coming to, and that is the reason where they are coming to the school. So that to learn. And that is why homeschooling is not preferred over going to schools. So school itself, I would consider as a social lab for students as well as for teachers. Don't you think so? That is there any requirement of a special lab?
Ma'am, if at all the conversation has to go further in a structured format, not in a structured format, but with open-ended questions, I think where we are facing abusive language, all this is really not taken care of if we leave the children on their own for having a conversation.
That totally depends on the environment which they get at their homes, definitely. And we have counselors in the school where the counseling is done for those students who are doing so. Their parents are being called, teachers are being trained definitely for those things, because not only counselor can do that for a children. A student has to be monitored the whole day. So the class teacher is informed and a committee is being made specifically for certain students, those who need those kind of attention. So we take care of soft skills in the schools for the students, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Sumit. Thank you, Dr. Jyoti. Thank you for such a beautiful audience, and thanks a lot.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Lunch is-
to our
lunch is
honorable
ready.
panelists.
Thank you so much.
I request our panelists to come up for a group photograph.